Hey, I don't make the rules, I just play by them. It's budget build time again. Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. This is the Vanquish VS4-10 Fordyce budget build. And we are doing this one a little bit differently this time. If you're not familiar with how Josh from Harley Designs and myself handle a budget build, I invite you to go back and watch previous ones. Actually, that won't help you, because this is completely different. What we're doing this time around is adding some randomness to this budget build. We are, of course, only trying to spend $60 each week to build up our VS4-10s, the Fordyce in this case. And the reason that we've upgraded it to $60 is just inflation. Inflation's a killer, man. Bread does not cost what it used to cost. Way more expensive. What's changed this time, though, is we've added the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, that's smart.
The wheel is responsible for either making this or breaking this in terms of each weekly budget. There are a lot of new categories, some of which take money away, some of which add money, some of which, like my week this week, make things very fortuitous. Big words. Generally, though, the idea is to take the VS4-10 Fordyce and upgrade it. Add things, change things, modify things, build things to make this our own personal trucks. And this week is no exception. The first week is usually sort of a introduction into this series, but because of the Wheel of Fortune, let's call it the Wheel of Fordyce, I was given the opportunity to raid the recycling bin, if you will. Roll the tape. Fordyce.
We have created. I'm going to switch over
this?
to.
I'm switching over to
I'm going to switch over to this. So
we
have
wheel.
Created the wheel. The wheel. Actually, it's called Wheel of Fortune on top. That was not by design.
I've changed the name to Fordyce Budget Build.
Oh, that's smart.
But yeah, this is our opportunity to randomize some elements of a budget build to keep it entertaining for us, but more importantly, entertaining for you. So we only get one spin.
One spin.
This is a random spin of the wheel. Here we go, people. Spinning the wheel. Come on, big money. Here we go. Spin, 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 spin. Recycle bin.
No.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Suck on that.
Now
yes.
The parts have to have been used.
Yeah, dude, everything in this room has been used.
Okay.
In one way or another.
You got recycle bin first.
Yes.
That is a good week. I'll give you that one. I don't want to hit the button now. I'm nervous. Hold, please. I ended the chat so I could see everything at the top. Here, by the way, 82% of the people think that your hat is weird. So spin the wheel, hit the button. There we go. I got... Oh my God, it was so close. I get a weekly total of $50. So I got a $10 deduction right off the whack. But it was so close to I declare bankruptcy. So as you can see, this week I got the recycle bin, and the recycle bin allows me to use a minimum, Josh's words, of 3 parts from my bin of things that have already been used once. And luckily there are a lot of things in that recycle bin, so let's get right to it. The first thing, and you're already seeing it on here, because I've done this all out of order. First thing you're seeing are these Method roosts. These are Vanquish Method roost wheels. They're a 1.9 wheel, and I've had these for a very long time. Man, it's probably my favorite wheel. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It's not a traditional beadlock ring wheel like Vanquish usually makes from either Method or KMC, but this is in and of itself one of the best looking wheels I think that Vanquish has ever made, and they don't make them very often anymore, which is unfortunate because I think they look great with the gray of the Fordyce body. And of course, in future episodes I'll probably end up changing the color of this body and removing some of these stickers and putting a SPG touch on it. But this is a special week. I gotta take advantage of these weeks. These aren't gonna happen every week. Sometimes it'll be a $25 week, and that sucks. I used the existing Wild Peak MT tires because these RTR tires are fantastic. It's not very often a great RTR tire comes along. Vanquish did us very, very well, and this is a fantastic tire. Top tip, and this is a freebie for this week, vent your tires. I used to not do this very often, especially for just trail trucks. But when you are crawling, or maybe in a comp even, you definitely want to vent your tires to allow those foams to actually work the way they're intended. You want to have some of that air pressure release as a truck goes over an obstacle. You want it to conform over that obstacle to get maximum adhesion and grip. It's important. And it's an easy, quick, free mod. I'm using a leather punch. You can use just the tips of Lexan scissors or regular scissors. You can even poke a hole in it with a knife. Whatever works to get you 2 holes of equal size on each opposite side of the tire is usually enough. And it's a great free mod because it does increase the performance of your ready-to-run truck. So that's the first one. I did dress it up with some Vanquish hardware, and I put 475 hubs on this setup to give us a little bit more track width as well over stock, which I think just makes this truck look a little bit more aggressive. And I very much like that because it does help in other ways too. Before we move on to the stuff that's under the hood, literally, one other free mod that I can help you with. I'm helping. This is a helping kind of episode. If you've got a Fordyce at home, you'll notice that mine sits much lower than yours probably does when you took it out of the box. And mine is fresh out of the box too, except for these changes, of course. Vanquish includes a really handy bag of accessories and add-ons and extras. And one of those extras is a way to lower your overall shock, because the actual pillow ball mount is shorter, thus giving you a shorter overall travel on your shock. I've added the shortest ones to lower the whole truck down, and I think it looks a lot better this way. I also prefer a lower center of gravity, and this massive roof really does kind of change the center of gravity a little bit on the Fordyce, so bringing that all down will help significantly. I think not only is it a great performance mod, it's also a great looking mod, because a lowered truck just looks better, in my opinion. Now, let's move on to what's under the bonnet. Because it is a recycle week, and I'm able to use things that I've used in other trucks, that's the whole point of recycling, is reduce, reuse, and recycle. So underneath here, we've added a couple of things. The first thing is a cosmetic change, and that's using Josh's motor design for sort of a motor cover. I think it looks really good. Obviously, you can't see it when the truck is in motion or the body is on, but it's a nice little piece, and it looks really good under there, doesn't it? I printed this on my Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon. I always forget it. Is it X1 Carbon or Carbon X1? I have to look over at it. It's X1 Carbon. I think it all looks really nice. It's a great piece. It is available on Josh's website. I'll put a link down below so you can download this file and print it yourself on whatever printer you've got at home. It will work just fine. I had this in my other Fordyce, which I used for the endurance test, which I will link to right up here. You should definitely go watch that video. It shows that the RTR in its completely RTR, right out of the box state, is able to go an easy 20 kilometers of tough trails. They were not easy. Anyway, that led me to my next big change for this week, which was completely stripping out the RTR motor and ESC. Now, it is no slouch. The 35-turn brushed motor and included ESC are totally fine, and they work really well, as I was able to prove in that video. But I wanted a bit more power, so I installed a reused Furatech Lizard 10 system. This is the ESC right here, a nice small unit with Bluetooth capability, which makes it super easy to program from your phone. Very awesome. And a 1950 kV brushless motor. It is not censored, but because of Furatech's FOC systems, it works fantastically well at low speed. And because it's all programmable via your phone, it is so easy to set up and just an absolute joy to use. Fits perfectly in the VFD transmission, and there's plenty of space left over. You can stick a whole finger in there if you want, repeatedly. And yeah, that's the extent of the changes I've made. I'm still using the stock radio. I think Vanquish absolutely nailed it with this stock radio. This thing is great. Feels great in the hand, easy to drive one-handed, digital controls, fantastic. Really, really good. Like that one a lot. So yeah, kept the stock radio. We'll continue to use the stock radio throughout this entire 8 weeks. But this power system is much better. Great drag brake, excellent FOC system, excellent low speed control, and just makes this truck come alive. It was a great choice, and I'm so glad that I had already previously installed it in another truck.
Hooray for recycling!
All right, so that's it. That's week 1 in the books. I spent nothing. Technically. I'm sure Josh is racking his brains for things to do with his $50. Not a good week for him. I'm sure that my next week will be equally terrible. Or will it? Who knows? That's the beauty of the wheel. All right, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, you want to complain about how we're doing it this year, put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. And of course, if you're enjoying this series and you like to see Josh and I struggle through these budget builds, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell. Oh, and don't forget to check out the live stream takeover, where we'll actually be spinning the wheel, so you know what Josh and I are up against every week. It's the best way to stay informed. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again next week.